Ciao raga, welcome back to Sun Tzu Secrets.
Welcome. And we have a special guest today.
We have special guest. Today is one of those other appointments that we're super looking forward to. We have two members of the Team England. We are continuing our show on the road to WTC. So we have Rich and Tom here. Rich, welcome.
Thank you very much for having us. So I am Richi from Dawi After Dark, and I am the captain of Team England. And this here is my vice captain, Tom Carley. You know him, you love him.
All right, guys. Yeah, Tom from Team England here, vice captain. Looking forward to going through some stuff for you guys. Thanks for having us.
I love Tom because it's the person who introduced me in a video of on Bestiarium miniature. So I print all my beasts of chaos after I see his army. So I thank Tom for forever.
Yeah. So in reality, our path already kind of crossed in different ways before. So. I had the pleasure to play against Team England, both in a scrimmage that we did before the WTC Online and at the WTC Online. So I played Scott, I think, in the scrimmage. Super nice guy with Tomb Kings. So we will go through his list also for WTC. And then I played Ed in the real round at WTC. So I had tons of fun, and it was like great guy, great games. So but also, Richi, you were recently in our country, so tell us all about that.
I was. So I came over for the Alpine Cup event, which was a 5-man team tournament. Had a absolute blast. It was amazing. Played against Alberto, actually. Had a really, really fun game. Probably more fun for me than for him, I think.
No, I have a lot of fun. Because in the first part, I think I can do something on your list, but then you put the 38 hits of organ cannon, and so I say okay, I can do nothing anymore.
I know. I love the organ guns. I absolutely love them. They're like one of those pieces that they'll never do anything in any game, and then just in one turn of one game, they'll just kill a dragon. Like they're so good.
It was
great though, man. I was over there with Richie. Honestly, one of the nicest towns I've been to in Italy, and one of the best events I've ever been to as well. Really, really cool time.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and actually, the organizer, who's Melle Venaruzzo, is one of the top Italian tournament organizers. He's very known on the Age of Sigmar because he also has the War Masters Academy. We are kind of like also doing stuff in partnership with them. So check out his YouTube channel and his page. And he's a super nice guy. The location is amazing. I heard great things about it. I'm also from the region as Alberto. Alberto and I know each other since we were like 4, 5, and we grow up close to Casale, and we know the region is really good. So great. So we have, as we said, so we have Richie and Tom joining us to keep going on our Road to WTC podcast, let's say. And we interviewed already Michele from Team Italy. Last week we had Phil from Team USA. And we were like, okay, so we cannot avoid to have Team England, where everything began, like the Albion region, if you will, if you want some Warhammer words. And we really look forward to discuss with you the list and discover with you what you guys prepared for WTC.
I shared the list of the England team, and so we add to the stage, and so here we are. Okay. So Richie, explain us what is your plan, if you can.
So, without giving too much away, in case there's any dastardly Italians or Germans that are watching this, or any Americans as well. So basically what we wanted to do is we wanted to kind of get ahead of the meta that we could see at the time. Obviously, it just turned to 1.5. The game had changed loads. Yeah. We had a couple of the leaks and stuff before, and we were testing that. Like every single leak that come out, we were playing that and trying that just in case it come out. Obviously, some of the stuff didn't come true. So we had been practicing some of the stuff that was wrong. And then as soon as we got the real rules, we jumped straight into that. We're practicing that and creating lists for what we thought the meta was going to be. So we've kind of tried to create lists that answer questions that those lists create. Obviously, in England, we've got a much higher shooting meta than they have just basically in the rest of the world. I'm not sure why that's kind of happened, but over here it's a lot of shooting that wins the tournaments basically. So we've kind of teched into defending against that a little bit, but that's also kind of helped with the defense into Cathay, which has just come out as well. So basically I'll start from the beginning basically. So when we Inception got the team sorted, we went through and we picked the armies that we wanted. So we had a list of armies first, and then when all of the player applications come in, we then went through and picked the best players for the style of army that we liked. Anything you want to put in, Tom?
At this point, no, you've pretty much got it covered. I've got nothing to add right now, but yeah, it was. I think the one thing which Rich is trying to say is we were trying to choose faction specialists over anything else. So people who had the muscle memory on not just that one style of list, but showed flexibility across their faction. So could play the multiple different Arcane Journal armies. Tomb Kings is a really good an example of one. You could be a blindingly good Mortuary Cult player, and then I'll give you 2 dragons and 2 Necrosphinxes, and you're like, you don't know what to do with it. Yeah. Because the meta changes so quickly, we wanted those people who were faction specialists and knew their entire book, hopefully from multiple generations of the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the main difference between like old world and games like Age of Sigmar and 40k. Like, I come from playing tournaments in Age of Sigmar as well. Obviously, I played Fantasy before, and I have played a lot of 40k in the past. And with the more kind of modern games, obviously, I know 40k is old, but the way that it's played now, you don't necessarily just play an army because you love it, but you find a lot of the players who play the old world armies is because they love that faction, they grew up with that faction, and that's the one that they have either always played or prefer to play it all the time. And we just wanted to get people in who love the armies, who know the armies inside and out, and that was kind of the thought process with picking those people. So when we were going through, if someone had basically played that the entire edition, that was the people we were going to go for basically. And yeah, so then we just started practicing. Oh, sorry, Nate, carry on.
And that's already interesting, because sometimes, and we've been both through team tournaments, right? So you have to make the selection of the players, the army list, then the style and everything. Sometimes you go for the player instead of the armies, and then you're like, okay, I want this guy because this guy is good, or like he's a good player. But it depends, because you can be a very good player with dwarves, but maybe you are not as good as someone else when you play wood elves. Maybe your level also depends on the army you're using. And some of the times you really go for the players, and sometimes the result and the mix is like, maybe not.
Well, there's one to piggyback on what you're saying. There's one type of player that has been exposed recently, and I do feel really bad for them, which is those players who got incredibly good playing dragons in 1 to 1.3, and they honed that skill and they got really good at it. And now that skill is not worthless, but it is not worth anywhere near as much as it was 6 months ago. That's that skill that they've honed, you know, it's still a useful skill, don't get me wrong, but there's a number of people who were playing 3 dragons who are no longer playing 3 dragons.
Yeah, I'm sure about that. In fact, the nation team of EOS, Italy EOS, in the past years have this problem because they choose the right player with the affection that he doesn't play in the year. So he found confused in the most important tournament. He was a good player, he was a great player, but this faction does not fit for him, so it's very difficult. And if you have a 1, 2, 3 person in the team with this problem, you probably have a big problem on the national team. So I think
did have that problem, you know, we did have that. I think every single team would have had that shock mid-July when 1.5 came out with it.
Yeah, I know.
I think it probably hit the Chaos players the hardest.
Yeah, I know. I know because I am the Chaos player.
Now they just go, oh fuck.
It's very difficult to play Chaos now. We pass from the stars to the trash in a month, I think. So it's very difficult.
That list is, and I want your thoughts on one list that we reviewed in a previous show of Chaos, because I was like, I didn't think that everything could fit, but we'll get there. We'll get there later. So that was already super interesting. Thank you, Richi and Tom. Like that's already a good insight as to how different teams are taking different routes when it comes to player composition. And then, as you said, like you decided to pick on like the armies you really thought they were with this new 1.5. It's almost a new edition. We can be straightforward in saying that. And then you went on like listing and such. So this is the end result. So I'm seeing like.
Can I ask Tom why you abandoned the beast for Cathay? Because you are the beast player of the England national team. This is the example for the
okay, so there's a few reasons. There's a few reasons why I went into Cathay.
Cathay's broken.
We know it.
Before we even saw the rules, I dibs Cathay. Now, I'd started building this army in 2021.
Okay.
So it had been there for a while. I'd had the foundation of it done for a while. And I'm very lucky that I have my own 3D printing company. So as soon as we started hearing murmurings of what's coming, I was chatting to the guys and I was like, right, I have 3 terracotta sentinels. I'm not using them, but we saw that they were coming and I went, right, cool. Toughness 6, monster, probably got regen. Let's paint 3. Let's paint 3 Shigengans. Let's paint 15 cavalry. So as soon as the army book came out, I had 2K ready the same day it came out.
Wow, that is quite a thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it meant that I was able to get the reps in really, really quickly.
Okay.
That's for an army that got released 3.5 months, 4 months before Worlds.
Yeah.
Rep was king at that point. And we always knew that the army was going to be strong enough that pretty much anybody in the team could pilot it. Beastman was one of those where we thought it's going to require such high levels of tech to get them to work.
Yeah, I know.
Is it worth sacrificing something else? And eventually we came to the decision we think our team's stronger not having them in it. Not saying they're bad, but I think they're one of the armies that you actually need to build the rest of your team around them to get the most out of them. And we didn't feel that was the best route for us.
Yeah, we definitely felt like we would have had to bubble wrap Beastmen a little bit too much in the pairings. Like if you're worried about any of the armies when you're going through the pairing process, then it can become a little bit difficult, right? Like we've tried to create a roster where whatever we put down, people are going to have to think about what they put down. There's going to be hopefully no easy answers to anything. And we've been creating what we've been calling pins as well. So like if you look at our lists, there's multiples of the same type of list, like the same kind of archetype. And basically that has been designed to, if you put something down, we're going to put 2 armies that are really, really bad for you to play into, pick the best one. So we just want to try and force people into bad situations. And it worked really, really well for us at Home Nations, where we managed to win that. And we were only 3 points off capping out of max points from that event, which was pretty crazy, considering like Scotland and Wales and Ireland were pretty decent. Obviously Scotland are very good. So yeah, it's worked for us quite well so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works. Obviously I'm not going to go into details of which ones they are or what we're going to put down.
I'm nearly stopping you as it is. I'm like, shut up.
For example,
yeah. Oh, the YouTuber come out at me.
Exactly. But in I can say this is as I said, the third team that we are interviewing, and I think again, as I said, we are trying to interview what we think are like a kind of like the top tier nation teams, but we obviously hope to be proven wrong, because we all like to see like a great event where everything is super tight. Maybe not for you, but for us watching, it might be more fun. But at the same time, all the teams that we interviewed are saying the same thing, maybe in a different way, because every nation is different. But like to what Richi and Tom you were just saying, is like everybody was trying to think like, how can I force people to make bad decisions or like choose the lesser evil, which sometimes is like okay, but not ideal.
I think genuinely at this level of play, forcing people to make bad decisions is genuinely how you succeed at this level, because everyone, you have to assume going in at Worlds, everyone is incredible. You just have to assume that as a baseline of they are going to give me the game of my lifetime and I'm going to have 5 of them back to back. So realistically, your chances of success are you fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all it's going to come down to, because they're going to outplay you. They're going to outthink you. And you have to at least assume those things if you want a chance of success. So you just have to be really on the ball from the pairings in army selection all the way to when you're playing the game, to wait for that moment of you fucked up. And just go, okay, let's go for it. Let's roll through. Sport in a sportsmanly way. You know, I'm not saying you go to them and go, nah, you fucked up. Like, don't do that, you know. But you wait for your moment to strike, you know.
I think that in a team of 8, it's really important, the pairing, because one of the pairing is always a bad pairing, because it's really difficult to have all the pairings perfect. So all the people in the team there were they must have the ability to overlap the match in their favor, because if you have the bad pairing, you have all to try to, with your skill, to try to do the best for the team, and you have for sure one of the match that is bad in 8 pairing. I think it's impossible to.
In 5 rounds or 6 rounds? It's 6 rounds? It's 5. Okay.
5.
So, over 5 rounds, at some point, especially probably the last 2, it's going to be probably kind of like the expectations is to be top tables. So it's going to be even harder. Yeah. So you're like, okay, those are the games where you really need to make it happen and minimize. It's
going to be really interesting. Just, I know you wanted to talk about the list, but I keep going sideways on it. The first round pairings are going to be crazy. Just because you have got some big hitters playing against each other straight away.
Yeah.
And that's just going to give us a wild table moving forwards.
It's going to be crazy. I can't wait. Like, the thing is, like, when you go to Worlds and stuff like that, it's, you expect, obviously, like Tom was saying, to play against the best players. So something really interesting that I found from captaining the team for a few events now is that we think we've done a good pairing. The opponent also thinks that they've done a good pairing as well. So one of you is going to be wrong.
Who's wrong?
It's really funny. It's like, obviously we spend hours and hours and weeks like making these matrices and going through them and practicing these matchups and stuff.
I remember at the Alpine that you say, okay, they have this, okay, they put this, okay, Tom, what is the right card to put? And I remember, Tom, that they take the volume, and okay, we have this, okay. It's all planned.
It's the perfect storm for autism. This is like, my brain's very happy right now, very, very happy.
We love this kind of stuff. Like, it's honestly my favorite part about being captain. It's the little mini game before. It's all of like the eyes with the other captain and the team and stuff. It's my favorite part. Like, I love doing it. The pairings is just, it's amazing. Like, it's such a good, because it can make or break the entire tournament, and it's just so fun as well.
And I want to add this, like, a little anecdote coming from the past, because we started team tournaments Albyz, I think, in 2011. They first started to appear in Italy, and it was, I think, already 8th edition. So we went, the first one was like teams of 4, completely unprepared. Like, everybody brought in a single tournament list, and then we were like, okay, it's right. So we got a nice apartment on the sea. We were like drinking, playing cards the night before. So super chill. Then the day of the tournament, we were like pairing, and we were like, okay, so who's gonna play against this one? I have no idea. I cannot play this.
Nobody can be paired with the opponent list. So who can take the vampire cards? Nobody. Okay.
Nobody. So I remember, like, that tournament ended up that I don't know how we were on table 2 in round 5. So we were like, okay, we must have done something good even without knowing it. And we got paired against the guys that obviously won the tournament. And we were looking at the list, and it was like, who can play against the vampire lord with the drinker of blood, the sword that was like healing and bringing people back in the big Black Knights cavalry? We all looked at each other. We were like,
nobody.
Table. Everybody was getting tabled. So I was like, okay, we're gonna lose this one. And the other thing is, when you think about an 8-man team, means that to cap at 100 points on average, and I know on average is always an abstraction, but you only need 12 and a half points per table. You don't need to go 20, right? In all the numbers, right?
We say to our boys the magic number's 14.
Okay.
You know, once you hit 14, you're in the safe zone at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, one of the things you need to think about, though, is obviously because everybody is meant to be equal level. You're expected to play against someone that equal level of skill as you, is as good as you, and 4 of the games are going to be positive, 4 of the games are going to be negative. That's just how it works, right? You're never going to get 100% positive games. So you just need to get enough to be able to push past that bracket, to be able to get to that 12, to be able to try and cap right. Like, obviously draws are not great, so just gotta try and push out those small wins. But then again, like, any points in a turbo red matchup is amazing. Like, I've got a few games, and I know a few of the other lads have got them as well, that are horrendous matchups for us. So if we get those, then if we can get 5 points and the rest of the team can get the points they're expected, then we'll win the round. So that's the thing. As someone's always going to eat it and just try and get as many points as they can, right?
That's been a key part of the training process for us over the last, I'd say, 6 months. And this is pre 1.5 as well. It's learning how to turn a 20-0 into a 15-5. So when you're facing down the barrel, take the vampire counts now. You know, let's say I'm running, just for example, a low leadership beastman army, and I'm staring down 6 screams, and I've not got 5 vile tides. Okay, let's run that game 10 times until you can score 5 points.
Okay.
And then once you've learned how to do that, holy crap, that's incredible at a team tournament. For them to think that they've got a full-blown 20-0 and you take 5 points off of them, that can ruin their day.
Yeah, it's discouraging. I mean, and coming back to the WTC online, when we designed the list, I was like torn in between 2 factions, and then my captain said, "Okay, you're gonna bring demons because you know them," and I'm like, "Demons? No, I don't want to play." I know, but listen, I have this very good list that can fit your playstyle. Back to what we were saying at the beginning, right? So he showed me the idea, and it was, you know that, right? The whole of like skirmish and run away. And he was like, "Listen, I think with the way you play, you can be paired into somebody that can table you, and you can steal points from him." And I was like, yes, up to a certain point, but yes, I respect the idea. So the funny thing is, like, last game, I was like looking at the metrics, and I was like, I don't even make the metrics anymore. I'm just telling you, I don't want to play Brett with the Falco Horn, because that was pre 1.5. And I don't remember another list that I can't remember right now. I was like, so those 2 lists, and Orcs and Goblins, because they will kill my chicken in like no time with those Doom Divers.
Yeah.
And after the pairings, Phil comes to me and is like, "Yeah, Andrea, good news. You're not playing Orcs and Goblins." And I'm like, "There you go, man. I know I could count on you."
You've got Bretonia.
But this is karma, Andrea, because if you remember in the past, in the back of it, in the past, when you are my captain in the Italian tournament, it happens the same things, and you put me in that situation. So this is the karma that turns around and comes for you.
I have 5 bad conversations every time we go to a team tournament, because there's going to be one person I have to go up to every single round and I go, "I'm really sorry." You know, but it has to happen. It has to happen.
And in that game, I got 9 points, I think, or 10 maybe. I think I draw because at some point I killed this Baron. I don't know how. Like, I got lucky, and he rolled horribly his saves. And I was like, and he was like, "Well, listen, it counts almost like a 20-0 because you flipped from 0 to 10 points.
It's huge.
It's a huge differential."
Yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely agree with this point of view. I mean,
it's the best part of the tournament, the team tournament for me, because you are a part of a context, and so you can do your part, also lose the game. So it's fantastic.
One of our chairmen, a guy called Matt, he's ex Age of Sigmar Worlds. And I was having a bit of a tough time early on in the team's process, transitioning from a singles mentality to the team's mentality. I didn't believe there was a difference, but he had a conversation with me that really made me go, well, shit. And I had to take a good look at myself afterwards, and it really helped moving forwards. He was telling me of an event he went to, Age of Sigmar, and he got told by his captain, mate, your job here is you are going to have 5 losses. You're going under the bus every single round. It's your job to minimize that loss. And he was like, yeah. Cool. I asked Matt, I was like, fuck, man, you must have had an awful weekend. He was like, you kidding me? He's like, I scored 12 points that weekend. I was like, out of how many? He was like, about 300. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, it was amazing. Every single game, I was down to score nothing. And I scored 12 points all weekend. It was sick. And I was like, okay, yeah, I get it now. I get it, you know?
That's the best part. It's like the camaraderie. The thing is, if you've got the beat stick players, right? So like Charlie, you've got like Tom with the Cathay. They're meant to get the 20-0s, right? So if they score 19, you're like, oh, come on, mate. Like, but if someone gets a red and they score 3 points, everyone's behind them, like, yeah.
Yeah, the same number can deliver different reactions at the end of the game. I mean, yes, 100%. Yeah, so that was really interesting because I'm sure that some of the people that are watching us are like, of course, fan of the games. Maybe they're even tournament players, but maybe not all of them ever experienced a team tournament. So I think this is super interesting to see, like, and deep dive into the dynamics, which, by the way, just want to point out that our final, we are having a GT final team tournament in November in Italy. And it's already kind of sold out, which is great. I mean,
but Richi comes, and I think also Tom comes. No,
unfortunately. Sadly, I've had to pull out. So yeah, we're trying to fill my position right now. But we've actually got 2 teams coming from England.
Oh yeah, I know.
And that's great. So everybody who's listening, even if you guys are not playing, please come around, see how it is. Come attend the event because it's always a ton of fun. Mm-hmm. So with that, why don't, and I don't want to make it too heavy in terms of like, I don't want to go through every single unit in every single list, but maybe Richi, Tom, if you can give us a quick snapshot by faction, what your choices are, and again, share up to the point you feel comfortable with. I know you can, but like, no, of course, no pressure. So we start with the Bretonia Exile, right?
Yeah.
The Bombards.
Right. Yes. So that is Andy. So he is our newest addition to the team. Actually, he's only been playing since Home Nations, which is only like a couple of months ago. But he's jumped straight in. He's doing amazingly with it. He has some secret hidden tech. So it's all of the peasant bowmen. I can't explain what they're for. I mean, you'll see it. There will be footage of the event and stuff, and we'll run through everything. Like, obviously, if you want to get Andy onto the show after the event, I'm sure he can talk you through everything. But he's got some nice little.
There's one thing we can say about Andy, because we can't. This is one of the lists. Unfortunately, we can't reveal much about.
Yeah,
because it's one of the lists. It's all in the technique. I will say one thing about Andy, and everyone who's there at Home Nations will back us up on this one. It was like watching a composer when he was playing. So we haven't questioned him, genuinely. We've watched him play, and we've gone, "Yeah, you were right, mate. Sound." Like, because we had a very similar opinion because we watched your list review thing, and I had a really similar opinion to you guys when he put it down. I was like, "Mate, there's a lot of bowmen there." He was like, "Yeah. There's a reason. X, Y, Z." I was like, "You sure?" He was like, "Yeah. Trust me." I was like, okay, fine. Watched him play it 3 times. I was like, well, fuck me, it works. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really interesting, actually, because it's really strong list into multiple different archetypes as well. Like, it's even really good into lists that you wouldn't necessarily want to put Bretonia in. Or I could just be saying this to get to the other captains. No, but it genuinely is. It's a really good list. It's really interesting. And obviously, if you want to get him onto the channel to talk about it afterwards, I can get him back on. But yeah, it's a really interesting one. I mean, it's Exile, so we know what it does. It's got the double bombard. But it's going to be used in an interesting way, but that's pretty much all I can say, really.
Okay.
I see he went for an Outcast Wizard because I would just say that with Dark Magic, which makes sense. I mean, we can all check the spells. We all know what the spells are doing. And I say this is interesting because I've seen in other teams, in a lot of other teams, no magic at all, even with rats, which I think it's a possibility. I mean, I wouldn't say that not having a wizard is penalizing. It makes you play differently. But I mean, I was like, the first thing that I always look for, and I'm like, okay, does it have any magic protection? Does it have any magic offense? So I can see a paladin, an outcast level 3, which is
it does help just kind of elevate the list a little bit. Like obviously in 1.5 you don't need any wizards, you don't even need magic protection. I mean, Alberto, if you can remember my list from Italy, like I was running no magic protection pre 1.5, so I was just always in the state of like, if you can't see me, you can't get me. That was the kind of thing. So.
Right.
And if you can see me, I am 5-member team or Archibioso, so it's not important in that case.
100%. So the next one we've got is Dave's Nuln list. So this is very shooty. Very shooty.
This is gun the list.
And Dave also has the biggest balls you've ever seen because he hasn't brought any engineers.
That is a thing that you
his reasoning, by the way, on that is my dice are that shit they'll blow up anyway. So.
Okay. If you have that kind of comfort of known of your
he's been running Orcs and Goblins for forever. And rocking Doom Divers for forever without engineers. He's like, what the fuck do I need an engineer for? What do you mean engineers? You know, like it's just it doesn't.
Luckily coming from armies that didn't use them before. Like, so Dave was at the tournament in Italy as well. I don't think he conceded a point the entire weekend. Like, really good player. Dave's amazing. This list is very strong. I think people underestimate it coming into it as well, but it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, it's an impressive amount of
shooting.
I was going through the list before.
If I remember, he came to Italy with the goblins the last time at Alpine, and I remember he have a 90 goblin.
Oh mate, he's back on it now with 107 frenzied night goblins.
Okay,
he's back on it.
So basically, we did a video the other day where we were picking our favorite couple of lists from the WTC, and his favorite one was the Hungarian Orcs and Goblins list, which is beautiful, by the way. So he's decided that he's going to start using that over here, like outside of the WTC and outside of the team tournament games. It's glorious. Like,
it's really good, actually.
Yeah, it's actually really good. We were doing some test games into it, and honestly, any other captains or any players that are playing in WTC, do not take that list lightly. It's really good.
It's one of those, be like, how hard could it be? Here, have a fucking unit. What? And it just deletes it somehow. You're like, how did that even occur? And you're like, 107 attacks, my friend. That's how. You know? It's not all of them, but you get what I mean. It's just, it's funny.
It's a great army.
It reminds me of my game on Warhol against Daenerys that had the royal host blob, like 120 with everything inside.
So interestingly, Scott. So if we can go down to Scott's list, who's our Tomb King player, just quickly, obviously deviating. So so this is our new version of that. So he was running a list very similar to Donarius. It was one that James Ramsey kind of cooked up after seeing Donarius's list. So this is Scott's kind of new homage interpretation of that. Obviously, it's got a lot of negative to shooting in it as well. It's got a couple of weaknesses. I'm not gonna say what they are, but it's a very very solid list. There's a few armies that can't get any points out of this whatsoever.
I think it's not the other way, mate. There's most armies can't. There's a few who can. It's very, very difficult to deal with.
Scoring points. I mean, I had the demons at that time, which was I was like, I'm gonna be tabled. I managed not to, but like that's another story. But it was like an impossible game, game.
But for most of the list in the entire Warhammer, it's an impossible game. It's very difficult to find out something that could break that line. So it's very, very solid.
And you might tempt someone who thinks they can. And we've all tried, and we all know what happens if you can't follow through. When you do try and break that, you lose hard.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really interesting one, because I think some of the captains are either going to throw someone under the bus into Scott, and then he's going to get a 20-0. He'll table them, because this can actually push out a lot of damage. Or they're going to throw one of their heavy hitters into it, and they're not going to win. So it's going to be an interesting one, I think. It's going to be a speed bump that people aren't expecting, actually.
Yeah, and having played Scott, I mean, for everybody who's watching and that they don't know the player, I had the pleasure again to play Scott. He was playing a very different list with TK. That was for the WTC Online in the prep. I mean, and he's a fine player. I mean, I remember like the very accurate, nice move. So he's a top. Not that I need to say that and underline that, but he's certainly.
The man is a shining star of sportsmanship, genuinely.
Yeah, he's potentially one of the nicest men in Warhammer as well. He's lovely.
Yes,
but
and he was like lovely during the game.
I can remember that all your team in Alpine is fine. It was one.
You guys very drunk.
Yeah. I drink a lot because I have a confrontation with Richi, and so I have to drink for forget that I was.
5 minutes. Another.
No.
Easiest way.
Yeah, it's the way. But I remember that it was a pleasure to play with you. So it's for all of you. So I think it was.
Yeah. So Richi, what do we have next? What do you want to tell us about?
So I tell you what, Tom, do you want to talk through your list? Because obviously on your stream that you had a couple of days ago now. Well, it was yesterday as of time of filming, but the magic of cinema. So obviously you guys were talking about the fact you didn't rate the fact that he has Mao Ying in the army.
Yeah.
So obviously don't explain the thinking, but if you just want to talk about the kind of the concept.
No, I'll reiterate. I've had to think about what I'm going to say here since I knew I was coming on the stream. So I think I've near enough got nailed what I'm going to say here. I said a very long time ago on Richi's stream when Cathay first got announced that Miao Ying is a gigantic liability with a very large if at the end of it. If you can master her, and if you can get the most out of her, you'll be nigh on unbeatable.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've done that, but she is in my list.
Yeah, and you are the unique in the I think Cathay. I think you can play. You play
US,
me.
well, me and the US have taken it, and I do respect those.
Yes.
Shane, sorry.
Shane decided to pick Miao Ying. I mean, I was supposed to be the Cathay player, so I can share it now because it doesn't matter. So I was supposed to be the one playing Cathay, and my list was completely different. I would say was. And I promise we didn't chat with Federico Bostrenghi from Italy, but my list came out basically very close to his. So when I was chatting with him for another tournament, I was like, "Dude, I need like some like consultancy," and he was like, "Well, I can show you my list, but maybe it's very similar to yours." And I was like, "I think it's good then." But yes, I mean, Shane decided to bring Miao Ying, so that's why in the show last time I was like, "Yeah, okay." I wasn't expecting that because I have my feelings on her around. I'm like, yes, she's great in preserving points, but I'm also surely not seeing the whole picture. So there are for sure some situations where you can sneak in. Yeah.
So I was just one of the really big things that I think separates your player who's going 5-0 consistently at GTs and the player who is supporting their team and providing wins to their team. There's a very, very big difference between those two types of play. And for me, what it comes down to is understanding there's so much more to a unit than the damage it outputs. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more going on. And even just the psychological impact of that being in the list has now made 16 different teams go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You were all preparing for double or triple Shigengans and double balloons. And everyone was.
Yeah.
So you were written answers for Shigengans. Yeah. You've not written answers for Miao Ying. Most people have taken the dragon answers straight out of their list because one thing I said at the start, dragons are pretty shit now, aren't they? But dragon you can't kill is not shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Feel
It
free,
opens up.
take her off the board, and then I'll transport her really, really far away, and
It's a very tactical. It's a very tactical year. I know it.
And basically, she doesn't need anything. I mean, there's no leadership check. It's something that happens no matter what during the command phase, and you can disengage, you heal. That's why. I mean, at the beginning, I was like, okay, that sounds amazing. I remember when I was watching the Square-based show when
but it's not simple. I think you must have some skills to use it.
If I could take a third balloon, I would not be taking Miao Yang.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right. Because let's remind everybody, there's a hard cap at WTC on lanterns. I would say like everybody got a little oh my god, and so yes, correct. So Tom, you made a great point. Yeah. So
that's the void that got left in a lot of people's lists. There was like a 300-point void in a lot of people's Cathay lists, where that third balloon used to be, and it was trying to figure out what to put in it. There was a point where I was running 6 pieces of artillery. That was a funny list. But God, it got nailed quickly. If you got past the mid board, dead.
Yeah,
but
D6 wounds, huh? The other one is D6 wounds.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, you'd win turn 1. 40% of your games, you win turn 1. Before they even get to roll a dice, you've won. Because if you get all your artillery shooting, that's 12 shots. You just delete people,
I know.
But you don't get turn 1, or you do get turn 1 and you roll 6 misfires. Good game, cool, 20-0.
Yeah, right. Which is also which is the other way around. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm coming out from Nova Open in Washington D.C. I won the tournament with Cathay, and I only had 2 lanterns but 3 cannons with the ogres. And I mean, at some point I felt almost bad. I was like, dude, I'm sorry.
I won't play them outside of teams.
So I want to kind of just put this out there because I think my feelings are quite strongly on this. Like, I think Cathay, I really like the faction. The balloons need a rework. They're too strong. They're oppressive. They're going to put people off the game. People are going to be going to tournaments and never going to another tournament if it's their first one because of them. They are very bad for the game. And I know I know obviously if you're a Cathay player and you've just picked it up and you're upset about them, like the negative press on your army, it's fine. Don't worry. Games Workshop will sort it eventually, and then you won't feel bad for bringing them. But at the moment, they are quite a miserable experience for most armies to play into. There's only a few armies that can actually counter them. Obviously, I won't talk about that now. But the kind of the archetypes that do counter them are stuff that doesn't die, comes back, and also stuff that can just fly away, hide, zip round, kill the back line, and just kind of probably leave them alone.
Other
oppressive stuff, that should probably actually get changed. Like, I tell you what, if we kind of go from this onto my list, because
Richi's actually demonstrates the downward spiral that Cathay has created.
Yes, So obviously, this is the kind of list now that dwarves kind of have to play. I think there's only one Royal Clans list in the WTC. The rest of them are variously based on lists that I've previously played, or this one as well. And yes, I don't feel proud of myself for playing this kind of list at all. I would much prefer to throw loads of little bearded men at you across the board with hammer and axe. But unfortunately, in the meta that we're playing into, this is the best way to play this army. It is oppressive to play against. It is like, obviously, when I played against you, Alberto, there's not anything really that a lot of armies can do against it. And yeah, it is a casino slot army though, so all of the damage is D6. All of the shooting from the artillery is on artillery dice as well. So it is completely casino. Like, you never know how much damage you're going to do. You could table the opponent in turn 1, or you could potentially do hardly anything, and there's a dragon left on 1 wound at the end of the game, like in our game.
Yeah, but you also do the 38. You 38 it with your organs, so it's the balance of the.
I've watched him many times blow up all his artillery turn 1.
Yeah. Like it happens. It happens. Like I love dwarves, obviously. Like, this is a really fun list. It is a really fun one. The problem is it is very weak into some of the armies. So some of the field it's very weak into, and some of the field it's oppressive into. There is literally no mid at all. It kind of feels like Cathay, I suppose. Obviously nowhere near as strong as Cathay, but you either have stuff that you basically almost get a free win into, or it will smash you and you need to hide from it. So it's quite a stressful list to play. Like I think a few of the lads who are playing lists like this at the WTC will find that as well, that you just don't have answers to some of the lists. So obviously the other captains will be trying to put me into those, I can imagine. But it's a really fun list. Like it's literally just loads of gyrocopters and artillery and stuff. I've tried to keep it as MSU as I possibly could, which is multiple small units for the non-English speakers. And yeah, so I would have made the units of Rangers smaller if we didn't have objectives, but obviously we're running the objectives, so they have to be there. They're just there to die, basically, which is why they don't have a command in there to take the challenges of the dragon and stuff. They are cannon fodder to hold objectives. Nothing in this list is that many points. I don't care about any of it. You can kill whatever I give you, and the rest of it will shoot you. That's basically the plan.
Yeah. And you have clatter guns basically everywhere, so of course, so that makes sense. I played against a exp list at WTC, like one of my games, and with demons, that's one of the reasons why we crafted that demons list, because I was like, well, actually that is cool, because with 36 45 furies on the table, moving, vanguarding, moving, it was like an interesting counter to that. But there are no demons players, or maybe there's one. I don't know.
Absolute hero of a demon list, by the way. It is a full Khorne list, and then has a Tzeentch wizard in it. I'm not happy about that at all. No, but it's got a bloodthirster. Yeah, but it's got a bloodthirster in it. Absolute hero. Like I love that list. It's amazing.
Yeah. But
it's the Ukrainian demon player.
It's not Ukraine. It's Mirko from Italy. Yeah, it's Mirko from Italy. It's the player of the Ukraine. It's Mirko Trinchera. Yeah, he played for the Russians in the Alpine Cup with the Demons, and so he played with the Ukraine
I played against him. Yeah, no, lovely bloke, gorgeous army, and he had the worst 5-minute start to a game I have ever seen in my life. We were rolling our magic, and he was like, "It's all okay as long as I don't roll these two numbers," and that's all he rolled on both wizards. And he was like, "Well, I can't play this game now." I was like, "What do you want to do?" He was like, "You've got 5 Vile Tides, haven't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I've got 4 Wind Blasts as well." He was like, "Okay, we'll just try. It was I felt evil that entire game. And I learned a lot of new Italian swear words in those 3 hours.
But I absolutely love his list. It's really cool. It's a fun one. I actually picked that as one of my favorite lists. To be fair, it's great.
Definitely in Casale, so he's totally flipped it.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love it. Like it's a load of attacks. Like it's good. So yeah, hopefully going forward, we got the new Slayer book coming out. So hopefully next year I want to run Slayers if I'm still on Team England. Hopefully. But yeah, I think there are too many armies now that are getting counters for shooting. So I think by this time next year, I think potentially lists like this potentially won't have a place in teams. I don't think everyone's kind of cottoning on to the fact that you can stop a lot of the ballistic skill shooting. So I think you potentially have to move away from that. Which is fine, because as long as dwarves can dodge like Cathay, then you're normally okay, right? Like dwarves are good. I like dwarves.
And that's an interesting list. It's like 3 pieces of artillery versus another maybe 5 or 6, and then it's like who gets the first turn, how the first shooting.
Well, the interesting thing about my artillery is it moves, so I can hide mine turn 1 and then pop out and kill yours. So. It's a fun game into Cathay for sure. Yeah. Like I have the first turn advantage into Cathay for sure. It's fun. It's a fun game.
Yeah. Great. And
then we have.
We talk about vampire counts, which is one of the. Let's not
hide. Sorry.
Michele says the captain Zanco, the captain of Italy, says that Charlie is going to win the all-arounder. He going to have 100 points at the end of the tournament for sure. for him.
Yeah.
He say he is the best player with the best army, and probably he is going to have 90 or 100 points at the end.
I just want to say as well, that's not through lack of work. The man is a professional gamer.
Yeah.
He does it for a job. He coaches esports. He understands the stakes. And he has been putting a ridiculous amount of work into this. And that's why when you said, let's talk about vampires, I said no, because I can't betray the amount of work this man's put in. Vampires exist. If you want to know anything about this list, Charlie's running it. If you want to know anything about Charlie, go look on Old World Rankings and show me the last time he lost a game. Like, it's just one of them, you know.
Yeah, he's an absolutely insane player. For those, we've got a little joke on the team that when he goes to tournaments, he reaps souls, and that he is actually a vampire. Like, he's married to a Romanian woman. He's
okay, so
he sent us a picture of it. Yeah. Well, he sent us a picture from outside of the Transylvanian castle, and there was a statue of Vlad there, and he's like, "Oh, my former self." And it's like every time he beats someone, he reaps their souls, and he gets a bit younger. Like, he's honestly, he's a great guy and an amazing player. And since 1.5's come in, I haven't beat him once. So just let that kind of sink in. I cannot beat him in 1.5. Yeah. So it's very, very tough matchup. He's one of those players.
By the way, that's not just with vampire counts. That's just Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just amazing.
Give him a different army and it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, he's amazing. He's one of those guys that he's going to have to be massively respected in the pairings. Like, if you give him a weak army, he will 20-0 it. If you give him a strong army, he'll 20-0 it. So you cannot take him lightly, to be perfectly honest.
He won't tell us that he'll 20-0 it, though. He'll tell us it's a 10-10, and then we'll come over on round 4, and he'll be like, actually, no, it's a 20-0. Every bleeding time.
Yeah, he's a nightmare. His matrix is a nightmare. So he'll be like, oh, I don't reckon I've got this. So when we was playing in Italy, he was playing against a dwarf player. Really, really nice guy. And I think it was on your team, actually.
Yeah, Giovanni.
Yeah. So he was playing against him. And I walked over to him. And I was like, right, how's the game going? What do you think? And he was like, I don't know. I think about a 12. And I was like, right, you really need to get more points than that, Charlie. He was like, right, I'll go then. And I come back 5 minutes later. He was like, yeah, 20-0.
I remember because Giovanni don't take a 20 with the dwarfs for 10 years about. I think it's the worst loss he has in 10 years.
Was it Giovanni Paggi?
Paggi, yeah.
Giovanni, and by the way, for everybody who doesn't know, because we're talking about this player, because we know the Italians, we know you guys, of course, know very well your guys, but we're talking about also Giovanni, who's a great player. I mean, we've been knowing him for years or so. This
not only in fantasy but also in 40k he wins a lot of Italian GT, and he goes to UK and win a lot of UK GT in the 40k, so he's a great player. So
be 20th by Charlie. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, he is a really good player. It's literally just Charlie is a monster. He's a horrible person.
Like, he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think his team either won or got incredibly close to winning the World Championships League of Legends. Like, he's that level of can work under pressure, analytical mind gamer.
Okay.
You know? So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Great. But definitely one for everyone to watch in the tournament anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, no pressure, by the way, Charlie.
Yeah.
And sorry, just to like a couple of things for who's watching. Somebody may be like surprised by the hex rates, because it's not the unit that you usually see on the field. I was like, before seeing the list, I was like betting on either seeing hex rates or cairn rates, which is a word. I'm sorry, my pronunciation.
No, that's fine. That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
because those two units, again, without disclosing too much, but given the new armies and all the lists that are going around, well, those ethereal things are quite interesting, right?
Yeah, very, very tasty. Like, I don't know if you followed any of Charlie's games before, but he used to run the Black Coach. Like, he used to love running the ethereal shock troops, and having the double hex wraith now. It's so strong. Like with the double crumble as well. Like if you can get this list into an army that doesn't have any magical shooting or any magical output at all, it just goes straight through it. There's hardly anything you can do. Also, anything that's low leadership as well. Like they cause terror. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is another way. I mean, you can, and those are 3 points if it's just a leadership check. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
All the pressure is on the other guy. Roll those 2 dice. Roll nice, because if you don't, you may lose points.
I mean, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've lost 1,100 points in 3 dice rolls. You know, it happens. You're winning the game, and then you're like, and you said Cairn Wraith, and it happened to me early on whilst he was testing. He charged the Cairn Wraith into a souped up big balloon, you know, like the most expensive one you could do. I fled, and I was like, it's fine. I'm 11 inches away from the board edge, 12 inches. Okay, cool, good game.
Yeah,
and that was a 50-point model.
Something that's really interesting as well. Like a lot of people when they play vampire counts, they're quite stationary with their lists. This list will be in your deployment zone by turn 3. It's very fast. It'll be coming right at you. You can't run away from it. It will get you. That's very similar to Scott's list as well with the Tomb Kings. Like they're very mobile. They don't play the way that you think they're going to. You can't hide. You can't run. Which is an interesting one as well.
You can only scream and go away from the table.
And people also scream because you understand that. So you can scream at you.
We talked about Chaos one because that was one of the lists that's probably had to have the singular most work put into it. Because I mean, Alberto, you know, Chaos got gutted, absolutely destroyed in the last 3 months. You're saying they went from 0 to 0 in 3 lines of text, basically.
Yes.
So it took a lot of work, and Steve switched from going from Grand Army to Wolves of the Sea here, which is a totally different play style.
Yeah, he is. I think Steve is actually ranked the #1 player in the world right now. I think.
I'm unsure. It flips around, right? It keeps going.
Yeah, on the he was the other day anyway. So maybe not at the point for.
You're referring. Richi, you're referring to the oldworldrankings.com. I think it's the website. We can put, by the way, guys, you will see the link in the description for that. So take a look because it's really nice. Like gives you an idea locally, like regionally, who are the top players, and you'll see the names that we're talking about. They're all there. They're all there.
Well, apart from I'm not there at all, so I've taken the entire year off playing singles to do team stuff. So I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. So I've only done 1.5 events this year, singles. So I'm basically not ranked at all, which is funny. I'm still like weirdly like 12th in the world though, because obviously it's from the last 2 ranks, which is really weird. But yeah, so if you do want to check out the local players to your scene, because you might know some of the names anyway, so definitely check out the Old World Rankings. It's really good. Gomo's done an absolutely amazing job with that website. It's really, really cool. You can also find local tournaments on there as well, because a lot of tournaments get posted on there as well. Cannot recommend that website enough. So yeah, going into Steve's list, Steve Papatol, he is a great player. He just dragons. That's his thing. He's an amazing dragon player. And going into the inception, when we were picking the armies, obviously Warriors of Chaos were super strong when we initially started getting the team together, because we initially put out the applications. I think it was last January or last February when we were getting the team sorted. We were like, right, we need a Warriors of Chaos player, and Steve was definitely the strongest that applied. Very good rush player. Will put pressure on you straight away. Very similar kind of play style, I think, to Adam from Team America. Very similar kind of play style. But yeah, so initially it started out him playing the Triple Dragon list. Had quite a lot of success with that. A lot of success with that in singles as well. But obviously in 1.5, the Triple Dragon has lost a little bit of its teeth, unfortunately. So he has kind of dropped that down a little bit and gone into the gigantic spawns instead, and also over to Wolves of the Sea. I can't explain why online. You can probably guess yourselves, and the other people that are running Wolves of the Sea will probably know as well. But yeah, this is this is it's a very scary army, and it has the potential to max score constantly as well. So it's very, very good. Very good into some of the armies you also wouldn't expect it to be good into as well.
It's an army that you have to play with an higher attention, because you have very light units, but if you have this attention on the field, you can maximize it. It's a strange army. It's a very it's very testing for for your mind, but it's a very probably it's the only way to play Chaos now, I think.
I mean, for me, it plays almost identical to how Beastman does.
Yeah.
With the exception of you do actually have a dragon, but as soon as you take that out of the list, it's a Beastman list for all extents.
Yeah. MSU, and you have, it's the only way I think you can do, because the Grand Army, it was destroyed by the 1.5. It's impossible to have an army that you can go all around with all the lists in the Warhammer. So this is the only way, I think. But it's very difficult, because the attention that you have to pay every move, it's very.
This is another one of the lists that shows the downward spiral of Cathay as well, because Cathay deletes chaos, just straight up deletes. You have no answers at all.
In fact, in the chat of the Italian Federation, we talk about Cathay in the Warrior of Chaos chat, and I say, don't think about Cathay, because you can't have any counter, so it doesn't exist. You think on other lists, because it's bad time to think about Cathay with Chaos. So you can do anything. So
and when I saw your list, I found basically the same build of the heroes, very close to what Adam, and I appreciate Richi you mentioning that. It's basically a very similar build that Adam was on, and now passed onto Andrew, who's subbing for Adam, because unfortunately also Adam couldn't come. So Team US had a couple of drops like last second,
it's a real shame. I was really looking forward to meeting him, to be fair.
No, is like an amazing. I had the pleasure of being on with him for months, because we prepped for Warhol. And in the chat, like, he's a great team player, by the way, extraordinary person, fine player. He's rocking it in the tournaments in the north. So I might see him if I manage to attend a tournament or two, because I never met him in person, by the way. But he's a super nice guy, great player. And because I think the possibility of splitting basically even the 1,000 points you have available on heroes and having 2 Chaos Dragons on the field, again, understanding it needs to be paired, but also, it's a very, very dangerous list to play against. Yes, and as you said, like the Wolves of the Sea make it particularly fun to play. So yes, we'll see how that does. And I think we only missed the
IELTS here,
right?
Yes, so that is James who is running that. So basically, it's a very similar vein to the Chaos list. It does similar stuff, but then has better answers into better things. This is one of those things when at list inception, we were trying to make multiples of similar lists. So if there was an army that was bad into that, then we would only give you bad options into it. So not even so much make you pick the lesser evil, it's you're fucked either way, is basically what we were going for. So this is a very good list. James is an amazing player. He's an ex-Worlds 40k player, ex-ITC 40k player. He has one of the most analytical minds that I've ever met. Really nice guy as well, lovely, delicate cheekbones as well. He's a
proper Swiss Army knife of a man as well. Like, he's one of the players where during the application process, we asked everyone to say, what army would you play? And James just said, just do whatever you want me to do. And most people, you'd look at that and you'd go, you arrogant fuck. With James, both me and Richie were like, well, yeah, kinda. You know, like there's nothing he can't play. So yeah,
he smashed me with Lizard Men pre 1.5 when I was playing Gyrocopters. Like utterly smashed me in a tournament.
Wow!
And I was just like, Yeah, fair. Yeah, we need this guy. Like,
When me and Richie used to play very regularly, he was the king early on at TSN Arena. James was like one of the guys where he would be at the event. You'd be like, cool, I'm seeing him in round 5 then. Like, you just knew he'd be at the end every single time, and you'd be like, cool, I'm losing round 5 then.
Yeah, it's probably the same in most of the local scenes in there. There's like the raid bosses in there. Like you turn up to a tournament and there'll always be like these 2 or 3 guys that you're like, oh no, I'm gonna have to play one of them. Like, it's always one of them. James was always one of them. He used to run Mort Cult at the beginning, and that was always horrendous.
And Vampire Count.
Yeah, and then Vampire Counts. He's the one that come up with the the Wood Elf Pillar of Fire spam.
Yeah.
So James was the first person to do that as well. I was at that tournament. That was awful. That was horrendous. That was brilliant. And I think he was also the first person to run in real life Denarius's the Royal Host Blob as well. Which was really interesting to see in person. That was awful.
Painted as well.
Yeah. Fully painted.
I hope fast painting. I hope he did a lot of contrast and a lot of like washes.
He's speed.
Well, James has only just started painting his army this week, so he's smashing on. But I think Shane from Team America is exactly the same. Like I don't even know if he started painting yet. I just saw that he'd finished printing this week.
Yes, so you did see that, and I did see in our other chat in the group for US. The color, the basic colors, and he was like, I think I'm gonna go a little bit further than this because I need it, but not much further because I don't have time. And I'm like, Ryan, meanwhile, the guy with Dwarfs was like showing off all the paint. Is like, I put the touches on the bases, I add the grass here, and the guy was like, I'm still deciding on the color.
Can I just say a fact? Yeah, I absolutely love his dwarf army, by the way. It's stunning. Yeah. So fair props. I saw it posted on Facebook yesterday. I love what he's done with all the bases and stuff. Chef's kiss.
Yes, exactly. Fine.
Back to the high elf list. Basically, everybody knows what it does. It's really good. It's got the opal amulets in there. It's got the seeds of rebirth. It's just a solid list. And the way that the maps are on WTC, it's quite hard to deal with, to be perfectly honest. It's going to be scoring, it's going to be killing you. There's going to be dragons at multiple angles, and he's going to be threatening stuff at the back of the board. So it's one to watch out for as well. And he's a very, very good player.
Yeah. I mean, also having 16 sisters doesn't hurt. I mean, with a Robbie Ring, so it's like goes off, it doesn't. Maybe 3 turns.
But also the Woodsmen are really strong units.
Brilliant for objectives. Fantastic objective. They don't do a lot of damage. You just can't peg them down.
You can't underestimate them because they're killing you. So you have to focalize on that unit because they are really dangerous.
They are. I think high elves are definitely one of those lists that you play into them, and you never see high elves winning events, do you? So you always go, high elves are a bit crap, and then you play into them. And if you go into that with the wrong frame of mind that you're going to win this game quite easily, then they can really bite you in the ass. And it's definitely one of those armies. It's a lot stronger than you would think it was.
Yeah, that's true. And I played Corey, our US team player, and he has a list. I mean, I know you saw it. So like also Double Dragon. So high elves are like to be respected and to be considered, understanding what's going to be the play style behind it. So. I mean, I think we went through all of them. What can I say, Albi? What do you think? I mean, I think it's a scary roster of
because I play against these guys, so I know what they do, and it's really difficult because they are really prepared from the pairing to the play. So I think it is one of the nations that you have to see, and when you see them, you say they are one of the favorites for me.
So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
It does feel like that scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where I'm Charlie with the mat in the background trying to connect all the dots like this. But,
but now we can play a game. You are one of the favorites for me, but for you, what are the nations that you are feeling that you can have a little bit tension with? So what?
So for me personally, so there's a couple for me that are the main, not so much rivals, but the ones that we are trying to prepare into the most. So we are having to respect, obviously, USA, Germany, Italy, and also Belgium for us as well. Those are kind of the ones that we are the most kind of wary going into. Like we've been practicing pairings going into them as well. Germany is, I think, it's going to be a very tough nut to crack for a lot of the teams. Like running through a lot of the lists that different teams have brought, I can't see a lot of answers to a lot of their lists, and I think a lot of people are going to underestimate armies like the Skaven army, for instance. Like that does a lot, like loads.
Is they have the most cohesive team roster, in my opinion, even more so than us. They've made me and Richi look at it and gone, I like what they've done there, because they've taken a couple of armies or a couple of builds that by themselves, the Skaven, are weaker on average. But then you look at them next to everything else and you go, well, now I've got to put something into them which really doesn't want to be fighting them. It wants to be fighting, I don't know, Empire. And it can score versus Empire, but now it's got to deal with these 40 fucking Storm Vermin. Yeah. And I've never played 40 Storm Vermin before.
Yeah.
You know, that was something which I had to prep for, because nearly every other list, I've got a vague understanding of what I do into that. The German team now, they've added about 14 hours to my workload, because now I've got to explore Skaven. So it was it's very clever.
Super interesting tech in that as well. Obviously, like charging forward, all of the characters fight high initiative, then they jump to the back of the unit so they can't be hit. Unfortunately, the WTC has ruled it that the Storm Vermin that step forward can't attack, which is probably a little bit of a shame for that list, because it does reduce the damage output, but I think there's like 45, 48 attacks coming out of that. And because they've got halberds as well, like it's brutal. It's such a good unit. And their Tomb Kings list as well is, if that thing gets going, obviously charge in, delete what it hits, spin around because of the banner, overrun into something else. And as soon as that gets going and gets hitting into stuff, and then obviously it's hard for everyone, because you've got to know the little tricks that these armies do, and you're like, right, I cannot be inside of overrun range, nothing can be within that overrun range and all that kind of stuff when you're playing into it. So there's a lot you can think about. But Germany are definitely a difficult one. Obviously USA as well, some really good players over there. We respect all of those guys over there, and it's there's definitely some good ones. Obviously the Cathay list is similar to Tom, so we probably respect that most out of all of the Cathay lists, because we've played into a lot of the different variants, so we find it the hardest to play into what Tom's brought. So obviously playing into Shane's list is going to be difficult. Luna's list is quite interesting as well. The Errantry, I think, is probably one of the stronger ways to play. Obviously our Bretonnian player Andy has gone for a more kind of techie approach, but the kind of the blunt force kind of surgical blade that Luna's bringing is very, very strong indeed. As for Italy, like we know you guys, like we've played against the Quadrifoglio, like just really, really good players. Very solid lists. Obviously I've been chatting to a few of the guys behind the scenes anyway. We've just kind of been sharing ideas on stuff, and like I love the way that the Italians think about the game, obviously finding new little things, ways to push the advantage in certain situations that I really respect, and I really like that in the game. And definitely a team to watch as well. As for my favorite to win the event, I don't think I could call it, because obviously it comes down to the pair. It's coming home. No, I definitely wouldn't say that. It's obviously that's a bad superstition in Italy to say that anyway.
Oh, come on! Like there's a whole the game is already on over like superstition. It's like Michele didn't even mention Team Italy. I was like, like you have to say that you're confident in the list. They're like, no, there are some hidden tech, but
I love him so much. I love him. He's such a nice guy.
I
he's
really
great.
hope we get England-Italy as the final. Like, I genuinely hope it's England-Italy in the final.
Okay.
Because one of my most favourite things in the world is to see Italians under high pressure. Because it's like a soap opera in front of you. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so animated about everything, and I love it. Oh man, it's brilliant. But it makes me get to that same level as well. So by the end of it, we're both throwing hands like this. It's crazy, right?
You feel pressure to do it, and it's like, I don't understand what's going on, but I think I should do it too because it must be serious. Like,
we're just shouting at the end of it, but we're so happy.
You remember the last match on the Alpine Cup when Dax and your Chaos player are the last that plays, and all the team of Michele and the Quadrifoglio, that it was the Team Italy, they goes around the table like sharks and they say, "Oh my God, oh no, oh my God."
It showed a huge difference in our culture because when we had our final game at Home Nations, everyone left them alone.
Yeah.
And it was, guys, give them. I mean, they took a damn long time. So at the end of it, we all stood around them to be like, "Come on, boys, hurry up." But at the start of it, we all left them alone and we were like, "Shush." Whereas in Italy, it was like a sea of people. It was like a WWE around
that. We cannot help that. It's part of the ritual. It's so
I love it.
A little nostalgia moment. Now I live in New York now. And sometimes when I hear those things, like my mind gets dragged back to when I was in Italy, and I was like, that's what I really miss about it. But yes, listen, I'm sad I will not be partaking this event, but I already know it's going to be a blast. It was great last year. It's going to be even greater this year because this is the real World Cup this year. Like all the big nations are in this time, and it has been 1.5 years of the game in. So hopefully a lot more to come from GW on Old World. And I know, Richi, you are like leading us with like rumors and stuff. So I really hope that we keep seeing like focus from GW. I would be in Las Vegas for the LVO Open.
So jealous.
So do you know what? That's really annoyed me actually, because I wanted to come to the LVO and I was gearing up and booking time off work and stuff for it, and then they moved the date. I was
I know they did.
And do you know what's really annoying? So the original date that it was on was my birthday weekend as well, which is much easier to get past on the partner than a random point in October, right? Like,
yeah, that's right.
So, but yeah, I'm hopefully, for anybody that's watching this in America, hopefully next year I will be flying over to Canada to go play some games. So hopefully get into a couple of tournaments in Canada and North America as well. Fingers crossed. So hopefully for everyone out there, hopefully I'll meet you next year. Fingers crossed.
Oh yes,
great.
Can't wait to meet you guys. And so I think as we wrap up, so number one, we cannot thank you enough for joining our channel and our show. It has been an absolute blast to have you. One of the most fun guests we've ever hosted.
Thank you very much.
It was a
great. Yeah, before I go, can I just say one thing? So it's if this is going out on Sunday, then it is our Dave, the Goblin Master, the Gnome Master. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, buddy!
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday!
And thank you so much for having us. It's been an absolute blast. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you guys soon. For everybody that's been watching this, it's been an absolute pleasure for us coming on. Hopefully, you've learned a little bit more about the Team England's thinking about how we want to play and our list and stuff, but just generally the main ethos with Team England at inception was we play with the right spirit of the game. So we were trying to be the nicest people we can be, and also horrible on the tabletop, but smile and be just nice people. And that's hopefully what we're going to bring to Germany anyway.
Yeah. And I can say, put a like on the channel of Dawi because it's great. Yes. And so we must say it.
I was about to say that too. I mean,
put subscribe on our channel because we need it.
Yes, we are the outsiders. I didn't mention it. I was just waiting for the end. But of course, Richi, as you all know, because I'm sure everybody already know Richi, is Dawi After Dark. It's a fantastic YouTube channel, one of the leading YouTube channels for Warhammer the Old World and much more. And it's great. It's an honor for us to have you to have you had here. And Tom, also thank you so much. Anything that you want, like anything you want to say?
Yeah, shameless plug. So UK Resin Print on Etsy. I'm a sponsor of his channel as well, Dawi After Dark. We've actually got a really fun model in there at the moment, so you can buy him on a shield. And we've got a painting competition going on in Richi's channel at the moment where you can win back the cost of your model. So you can have a free dwarf that looks like Richi. So you should all go and buy that model and join his Discord.
Yeah, so it's me as a dwarf king on shield bearers. So if you want
Fantastic. Great.
yeah, so you can head over there and get that. But thank you so much for having us, guys. Rock and stone.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Grazie everybody for watching us, and we'll see you next time soon. And thanks everybody, and keep the dice rolling on the battlefield.
Yeah.